Everyone, today we are looking at another question about volume, and this is from Mary Stella. Now, as you can see over here, it says that X is a cubical tank of size 20 cm. So, because of that, you want to quickly note down, all right, all of these things. Okay, first thing first, of course, you can say that the capacity, all right, the capacity of X is actually equals to 20 times 20 times 20, all right, and that gives me 8,000 centimeter cube. Okay, then the next thing you want to write down is the base area of X. The base area of X will then be 400 centimeter square. Okay, so once this is done, right? Once this is done, we can also go to Y, and you can see that the base area of Y, okay, so the base area of Y will then be 60 times 20. All right, so we have 1,200 centimeters square. Now, what happens is this, right? Is that the person poured some water from X into Y without spilling. After pouring, the heights of the water level of X and Y were the same. Okay, this is a very, very typical volume question that they like to test because students are not able to understand, how is the height of the water level the same? Okay, so what I want to tell you first is this, right? Whenever they say, all right, or whenever they ask for height, you must always remember it's volume over base area. And if the height is the same, then it will be what we call combined base area. Okay, so this C over here means combined base area. Okay, combined base area. Okay, so what we want to do first is, of course, write down whatever we know. Okay, for X itself, right, it has a volume, which is also the capacity of 8,000. Okay, and it has a base area of 400. Okay, and then after that, so this is my before. All right, this is what happened before. Okay, and then for Y itself, it has a volume of which we don't know, right? In fact, they said that the volume of Y is empty, so we don't even need to write anything over here. For the base area, we know, right? For the base area, it is 1,200. Okay, so what happened was there was some pouring from X into Y, so that is my after. Okay, so that is my after. Okay, so what happens is that the base area doesn't change. You must understand that the base area never changes. Okay, all right. So the base area of this will still be 1,200. The good news is that the height, okay, is the same. So if the height is the same, we are just going to call it H. Okay, we are just going to call it H, okay, to show that height is the same. Or, well, some of you prefer to call it 1 unit. I think that works as well. Okay, so because of this, you know that the volume over here will then be 400 H, and the volume over here will also be 1,200 H, okay? Why 1,200? Because 1,000 times H. Now, you remember just now, right? If you have watched the first part of this video, all right, you will see that I mentioned something called internal transfer. So what exactly is internal transfer, and why is this internal transfer? Internal transfer talks about how, two subjects, okay, transferring amounts of item, okay, to each other, and that the total doesn't change. So because of constant total, we can say, or because of internal transfer, we can say that this is constant total. So let's ask ourselves, okay, what is the total over here? The total over here, total volume, it's actually still 8,000. All right, then wouldn't you agree that the total volume over here in my after is still 8,000? Why? Because the water is just poured from X to Y. The water is not poured from X and maybe to another tank. You get what I'm trying to say? So it is transfer in between. That's why we say internal transfer. Internal transfer means I am transferring from X to Y, Y to X, X to Y. But in this situation, it's only X to Y. Okay? But the total still remains the same. So what we can say is that the volume of X plus the volume of Y is actually still equals to 8,000. So 400 H plus 1,200 H is actually equals to 8,000. So when we have this, right, over here, we get 1,600 H is equals to 8,000. So what we want to do next is we want to find H, and H will then be 8,000 divided by 1,600. All right, and therefore my answer for this question has to be 5 centimeters. Now, the question says, what's the final height of the water level in both tanks? Your answer has to be 5 cm.